Yeah. Here we go. Check this out. Stay Motivated Podcast Season 5. It's your host, your homie, Terry, a.k.a. Tobin Frost, a.k.a. Young Denzel Washington, a.k.a. Mr. Pop That Champagne for my pain. Listen up. I got a superstar in the building. Mr. Chris from the film The Opaque by Mr. Broderick Russell Jr. How you doing, Mr. Chris?
And living the dream.
Hey, appreciate you coming. If you don't mind, introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them where to find you at, and then it's on.
Let's do it. So, Christopher Weedon, originally from West Texas. Shout out to San Angelo, Texas out there, all my West Texas people. But I've been in Charlotte since 2016, so I call this home.
Yeah.
Building a mental health organization and platform called Mentally Shredded. So check us out at mentallyshredded.org, or We Are Mentally Shredded at Instagram. So yeah, we're just making a movement and taking this abroad. UK events coming soon.
See, look, man, we already up. Yeah, we already got some good info starting the podcast off. I like this. So look. I checked out the film, the short film. It's legit, elite.
Yeah.
So just explain, like, where did like the passion for acting start, and when did you start acting, or know you wanted to do it?
Man, I feel like since I was a kid, I was always acting. I've always been an artist. I grew up singing in church. You know, that's where most black people start, you know.
I heard that.
You doing some acting in the plays and the church plays and stuff. And so I feel like since I was a kid, it kind of just continued throughout my life. And then I walked away from acting and music for years until college.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was somebody that was like, yo, I can hear your voice. And I heard you could sing. I was like, man, I haven't sang since I was a kid, you know. And they were like, well, come try out for this choir. I was like, all right, whatever. And I went and tried out, and that led to me being in a lead in my first play my senior year at college. And then, again, I walked away from it again.
Uh-oh.
I went and pursued my soccer career. It took me overseas, took me all over the place. And that's why I walked away from music.
Yeah.
And I tell people jokingly, but it's serious. High School Musical, Glee, all that wasn't cool back then. That'd become
now it's
cool.
up now.
You know what I'm saying? That didn't become cool till later. So now, me being like, I'm 35. I know who I am now. So
right.
I can act, I can sing. God gave me these gifts, so I'm going to use it.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. So I like the journey, man. Well, I don't like the fact that you stopped, you kept going, and stopped. So tell me how challenging was that mentally? Because like we were talking off air, I'm like, that's kind of what I did with my podcast. It started, stopped. A lot of people do that. How challenging was that mentally?
You know, since I was a kid, I always had soccer posters and I just thought that was the path.
Right.
I thought that was my way to show my family, like, hey, I appreciate y'all driving me to Dallas 4 hours every weekend. I appreciate y'all making these sacrifices, right? And I just thought it was through that. Mm-hmm. And even though my natural gift was music, my natural gift is singing, like, I didn't have to work at that. And maybe that's why I walked away from it. I took it for granted, right?
You can just wake up and just sing.
Just wake up and you're like, dang, I didn't know I had it like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, but the stop-start piece is important because you learn a lot when you're an athlete. If you want to play, you got to show up. You got to train. You got to show up every day, every single day, better than the people that are trying to take your spot.
Right.
And so I learned from that career leading into my corporate career, which was short-lived, that, you got to show up and you got to hunt what you hunt it, you kill it, you eat it. And so as an entrepreneur now, and in this space where I get to build a business, I get to create, I get to act and all the things, we were talking about this. I've had a podcast since January 2020, and I've been consistent with seasons. I've been consistent with showing up. However, there was always this fear like, one a week? That's a lot.
Right.
This year, 5 years in, is the first year where I said, we're doing one a week, no excuses.
No matter what.
But I have the credibility, I have the confidence because I've stayed true to commitments I made in the past. Mm-hmm. So it was easier now to be consistent.
And I think to quote my guy Ray Lewis, I don't know how many Raven fans are out there, but anyway, he said the path to greatness is being consistent at the little things. And I hear that a lot with people that's successful. Consistency and effort.
Man, consistency will separate you. Endurance is what takes you to the next level. Endurance is what separates people just because most people give up. They don't have the agility. They don't have the endurance to keep going.
Got to keep hunting, right?
When you said you started in 2018 and there was that little same situation, a little stop, a little start, a little stop, a little start. The one thing that I said, and I say this to anybody, it's okay if you stop and start. However, when are you going to make that decision to just keep going?
Yeah, could be committed,
right?
to it.
Like if this is what you're passionate about, if you're just doing it as a side project, cool, but recognize like, why am I doing this?
Right. Yeah. When you own something, it's personal to you. So when you stop and start, you kind of feel like you're letting yourself down. But like you said, you got to be committed.
Got to be committed. And when you own it, to your point, nobody's waking me up to go get it.
Right.
Right? It's on me. And I think Jay-Z said, if you don't own it, like, you're a slave, right?
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Oh, man. So back to the film. So when you got approached to be in the film, what was your mindset? Like, did you have to see the script? Or did you already know, it's Broderick, so I know it's going to be good money?
The funny thing is, I had never even met Broderick before the film. And so I think I may have applied online somehow, or he came across a reel or something that I did in the past, and he reached out. He was like, hey, we have this role, but, your role would be a bad guy. How do you think you could do that? And I was like, I mean, I'm an actor. I can pull it off,
Right.
but I had never played a bad guy until this role.
Oh, yeah?
And so for me, I was like, internally, I know we all got some demons, right? And I was like, I might have to tap into one. I might have to go find one just because it was a different role than I was used to.
Yeah.
But the feedback has been great so far.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I knew at the beginning of the film, you wanted all the smoke.
Bro,
you
I was ready.
For it.
I was ready. And I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it yet, but I was ready and I was a little disappointed, and you'll see why.
Yeah, you wanted all the smoke, for sure. I like that. Other than your part of the film, what was your favorite part?
Man, so when you're invited to a red carpet event that you contributed to, right? Like, there was a lot of moving parts. The film crew, yes, the director, the people that were working behind the scenes that were making sure that we did have water and snacks, right? Like, those are the heroes of the film their names aren't on here, right? And so to me, I think Broderick being able to bring all of these people together to believe in him when this is his first film, we didn't know what to expect, right? I know the work that I've done in the past and the films I've been on in the past, and I knew the quality of those, right? But I had no idea. I just had to trust him. And I knew when I was in a position of building my business, I wanted people to trust me.
Right.
So it wasn't, he said, yo, I got this idea. I was like, bet, let's do it.
Right. Man, that's cool, man. I think one of my favorite parts of the film, I ain't gonna spoil it for everybody, but all I say is the little kid CJ, man.
Bro, CJ's different.
Man, I gotta see, man, it's to be continued. So I know CJ got something to, man, look. Now I'm getting upset.
Yeah.
Because I gotta see what this kid all about, man.
When you find a young actor, I think CJ was 11 when we shot this film.
Oh, yeah?
Like, so when you see a kid come in, he's professional, he knows his lines, and you're an adult and you don't, come on, you can't be on a film like this if this is the career path that you want to be on and an 11-year-old showing you out. Like, yeah, own your role, know your lines. Yeah. And CJ, he owned it.
Youngin is ready.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah.
He's hungry.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts. And the character Will, I don't know if y'all know the answer, but when I saw him on the horse, I'm like, did he already know how to ride a horse, or did he have to learn?
Bro, I don't know. I didn't even ask him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him. He had to come on. I have to ask him. I was like, so this film, y'all invested like some real good times, good energy, professionalism with this one. 'Cause I was like, oh, this not no little knockoff short film that somebody did real quick. This is real deal.
It was a real deal, and the beautiful thing about it is you got to work with professionals that look like you and then professionals that don't. And it didn't matter who was a part of the film. We came together as a family and we created this. Right? And I think that's important for me to say in the state of our country right now.
Yeah, definitely. So as an actor, what advice would you give someone else trying to assume that role or jump in this industry?
Yeah, take a chance, right? The worst thing they could say is no. But for me as an athlete, you know how many rejection letters and no's I got from agents and coaches, and and then I moved into sales. You know how many no's you get in the sales world? So to me, I've been built for rejection. I'm built for no's. Yeah. No's kind of excite me now, right? Like I think Eric Thomas said, I get a no, I get excited because I know I'm closer. I know I'm that just that one step closer. So if you're an actor or looking to get in this world, no matter what you're doing, acting, music, whatever, to me, the best advice I can give you is take a chance on yourself and see what happens.
Right. So, damn, that's good. So I know you at the beginning you mentioned like you have a mental health is that a nonprofit or organization?
Yeah, so I have a mental health nonprofit and then a brand called Mentally Shredded. Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you feel like, since I know you work out, you're in shape, you have your mental organization, do you feel like you've unlocked your highest potential, or do you not even know what that looks like yet?
So the person, it's funny you asked me that question and how you asked it. So I have to take you back for a second to bring you forward. All right. So the person that's sitting with you right now, the frequency that I vibrate, the energy is different because I've done the work and I went into solitude intentionally to do the work. And so me leaving the professional sports field and the corporate field, there was a lot of things that I would do to numb. There was a lot of vices I had, women, drugs, whatever, right? Like anything you do to really just cover up what's beneath the surface, right?
Reality, pretty much. Yeah.
Right? And so that led to my breaking point. That led to a place where I was like, yo, I don't recognize who this person is. Mm-hmm. And I know that I was created for so much more.
Right.
And so that was me having I looked in the mirror. I really remember having this conversation, looking and being like, bro, who the hell is this?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Who am I?
and that led to me asking a lot of questions. At that point, I started asking questions. I did seek therapy, and I know that some people say, okay, well, don't show vulnerability. That's weakness. And that's the generation we were raised by. But for me, there's strength in it. And how I challenge it is through not the name Mentally Shredded speaks for itself, right? If I go do a ruck, and which I was talking about earlier, this is a 20-pound vest you're putting on, and we're going until we break, right? And then once you break, what comes up, that's the person I want to talk to because the ego's gone.
Ooh, man, this now that's called hunting right there.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh man.
So the version now, when I put the bottle down, when I became celibate, I told my friend the other day, I was like, I'm a newborn virgin. She was like, I don't think it works like that.
That's funny. Oh man, my man. That's funny.
And I was like, it is what it is. But the energy I give before, everybody could have had Christopher Weedon 1.0. Everybody, because I didn't care. I didn't care about myself enough, which is why I made the decisions I made. Christopher Weedon 2.0, only one person's getting this.
Right.
So it's a different, how I show up is completely different. And
Man.
people feel that energy when I walk in the room.
That's awesome right there. Damn, boy, I'm gonna chop up this podcast in so many clips. This might be the one to take me over the top. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, kind of see what kind of style you have.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5 favorite actors or actresses.
Top 5 actors. So people respect this, and you'll get it. Top actor, Christopher Deshaun Weedon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Number 2, I grew up watching, regardless of controversy and stuff out there, I grew up watching Chris Tucker and Friday. I grew up watching Will Smith, Denzel Washington, right? Idris Elba is a new one, but you got to give him a shout out. And then, outside of that, bro, I'm gonna throw a random curveball in there, but Vince Vaughn is that dude too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn is that dude.
Definitely. Yeah. I think before I respond to that, do you think Denzel's the best ever besides you?
Yeah,
male actor.
Besides me, no one's done it better than Denzel, but he had to, I think back to the line, he had to be crooked before he took it. Right? Denzel didn't win an Oscar until
Training Day.
Jake! You know what I'm saying? and he's been like, we've seen the different levels that he can perform at. So why was it that film?
Right.
I don't know.
Give me my money, Jake.
Yeah. And it was great. It was Training Day. It was great.
What about actress?
Actress, man. So my number one, and I'll say this, my number one actress crush, if you will, is and I'm gonna see if you pick up on this. She can act in her own skin. She can act being green. She can act being blue. It don't matter. She's a beast.
Keep going.
I was like, okay. And I'm now blanking on her name. I'm over here like Avatar. Like, what is her name?
I know who you're talking about. She was just
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, she was just
Yep.
What movie was she in? She was just either a movie or like a TV show, a recent TV show. I was just watching her the other day.
Yeah. So
yeah, she's legit.
Zoe Saldana, to me, it don't matter what type of film she's in. She crushes it. Honestly, Zendaya is fire. We were talking about Euphoria earlier, I think, and her skill level and then musical talent, like she's gifted, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate her for that. Man, growing up, my number one actress was Sandra Bullock when I was young. When I was a kid,
she cold.
Bro, when I was a kid, I don't know what it was. I was like, I don't know if it was that song that came out, Stacy's Mom, and every kid at that point, what you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was going on. But I was like, Sandra's cold. But yeah, I would say those are my like.
What was the movie she just played in? The movie. When she had the blindfold on, I can't think of the name.
Bro, that was. Yeah, Bird Box.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, she was cold in that.
That was
good. She was legit in that one for sure.
Yeah.
So, the Opaque. Can you give me anything, a teaser or anything on the next one, or is the director gonna make us wait?
So I can say this. When you watch the film, when you go to YouTube and watch the film, type in The Opaque by Broderick Russell specifically. At the end, it says to be continued.
Oh, God.
It says to be continued.
That's how you go get me. Oh, that's dirty, man. I'm going to have to see if I can get in contact with CJ. Yes. I know the little homie will give me something.
Yeah, he might. CJ might.
Especially the way he finessed Will. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say nothing else. Do you have any other upcoming projects or anything you working on?
As far as film industry, it's kind of been slow right now. I don't know what's going on. I think just the state of what's going on, I think a lot of things have slowed down a little bit. I'm getting a trickle of some auditions coming in, but nothing set in stone. So I've been hyper focused on the business right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of events coming up. I'm working on a conference reset essentially for burnout prevention for mental health and healthcare workers. And and then the rest of the events are for us, for the public. Just
That's what's up.
Bringing us together, solving for loneliness, and letting people know we're not alone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to connect on some stuff, man. I gotta, my podcast is Stay Motivated, but my nonprofit is Stay Motivated too.
Okay.
So I got Stay Motivated podcast, and I got Stay Motivated Inc.
Okay.
For my nonprofit. So
man.
Yeah, we definitely gotta link up on some stuff for sure.
Absolutely.
Other than the celebrity actresses and actors, who influenced you? Because I know with sports, your family influenced you. They took you back and forth to Dallas, 4-hour trips.
Yeah. So I grew up, I was raised by my grandparents. My granddad was a lieutenant colonel, Air Force. My grandmother was an entrepreneur, ran the Hair Palace in San Angelo, Texas, the #1 Black-owned business in our town. And she was professional. And what I mean by that, it didn't matter what you look like. You came in, you were going to leave happy.
Yeah.
My grandma knew what she was doing, right? And so people would come from all over to see what was up. And a shameless plug, Allen Iverson's mom came.
Oh, yeah?
Right? I remember that.
Okay.
She gave my brother some shoes, right? Because my brother was a basketball player. But yeah, I remember just all these different people from all walks of life in a military town just coming in, and my grandparents just poured into them. People would come to church with us. And matter of fact, spring break, freshman year, I remember I went down to Panama City Beach in Florida.
Oh, Lord.
So y'all know, you already know. You know.
Yeah, be careful with stores you tell. I don't want you to get in trouble now.
Look, Panama City Beach, I walked into a store, and there was, I remember I had a military ID at the time. And I was like, yo, y'all just go in there, because I didn't want to go in the store. I don't know why. I was like, just go in there, get beer or whatever, and then come out. And so this girl went in, and she was like, yo, somebody says they know you, so unless you come in here, you can't get this. And mind you, I'm underage, right? And I'm like, who the heck knows me in Florida? And so I walk in, and he was like, you Christopher? I was like, yeah. And he said, man, I used to be stationed at Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas.
Ooh.
He said, I've been to Galilee Baptist Church with your family. He said, your grandparents really poured into me when I was stationed there. I appreciate that. I appreciate them. Matter of fact, take the case of beer. You're good. I was like, bet.
Oh, that's a good man.
Bro, I called my grandma right away. I was like, yo, thank y'all for being.
Grandma, thank you for letting me get this case of water.
Exactly.
This case of holy water I just got at the liquor store.
Look, I'm not telling people to do what I was doing back then, but that's what we were on.
Oh, man. So, man, before I let you go, I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think, like the way our grandparents came up, the way they was raised, how they raised us, you think society will ever get back to that, or you think that's long gone?
So the best thing that I've learned is keep moving forward. I don't think we're going back.
We ain't gonna get that no more, huh?
Nah, we're not going back, because we're in a world of AI. We're in a world of technology, like technological advancements.
Yeah.
Why would we want to go back? Right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's things that from our childhood that will always be nostalgic.
Yeah.
And so we take those lessons learned from grandparents and from the people with wisdom and maturity. And as we grow, we are able to give that back. But this is the greatest time to be alive. What do you know what I'm saying?
What a time to be alive. That's what they say.
It's the greatest time to be alive. It's the greatest time if you want to make money, greatest time to make money. If you're a person, it don't even matter your background, but speaking to people of color, you're a black person, an entrepreneur, whatever, it's the best time to get ahead. It's the best time to start.
Get out, and get something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Start something. You could literally, you could be an influencer by posting video. Come on.
Yeah.
So to me, we ain't going back.
You could, you're right. Because even the great Cat Williams said, you could be an influencer and not influence
not influence a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, when people are like, are you an influencer? I'm like, no. Also, I don't like labels. Don't put me in a box.
Right.
So yeah, we're going to keep moving forward.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got anything else for the audience?
Man, stay blessed, and trust me, it is not as bad as you think it is right now. Stay blessed, stay prayed up, and I hope I see y'all on the next Opaque.
That's church. The Opaque coming soon. We'll see what season 2 gonna have involved. I ain't requesting nobody to be in, but y'all understand what I'm saying. All right.
This was dope. I appreciate you, man.
All right, no problem, man. I talked to the director and see what he feels about giving me a shot. But other than that, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
thank you, bro. All right, we out.